Have you ever found yourself looking at your bank account at the end of the month and thinking, where did my money go? It's as if it had evaporated. And suddenly, that plan to save, pay the bills on time, and still save a little simply disappeared. But what if I told you there was a way to keep your budget so simple it seemed like magic? Today, I'm going to show you exactly how I keep my budget simple and functional. And best of all, in a way that anyone can apply. If you want to finally organize your finances without needing a super complex spreadsheet, stay with me until the end of this video. And of course, before we start, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel. Like this video and comment below. Do you find it difficult to organize your budget? Let's do it! When I started organizing my budget, I was part of that group that believed that spreadsheets with 20 tabs, colorful graphs, and complicated formulas were indispensable. But the truth is that I could never follow them. Either I forgot to write down my expenses, or I was too lazy to check everything at the end of the month. And guess what? My money kept slipping through my fingers. That's when I realized that the problem wasn't the budget itself, but the complexity I created around it. So, I decided to simplify. It all started with a basic idea. What is essential to me? This led me to what I call the 3 big buckets method. It's quite simple. I divide my money into 3 main categories: needs, wants, and future. Just that. No 1,000 categories that no one can remember. First, I define the needs. Basic bills such as rent, grocery, transportation, and health. This is usually somewhere between 50% to 60% of my income. Then come the wants. That money for going out with friends, to buy something you really want, or even for a streaming subscription. I usually reserve about 20% for this. Lastly, the future. This is my sacred money. This is where I save, invest, and use for emergencies. It may seem simple, but this division completely transformed my relationship with money. In fact, an important tip: don't worry about being perfect. The important thing is to start. In fact, take the opportunity to share this video with someone who needs to organize their finances. This person will help you simplify your financial life too, right? Now that you understand the idea of the 3 big buckets, I'm going to tell you the secret to making this work in practice. There's no point in just dividing the money and hoping it works out. The key here is to create small habits that make budgeting automatic. Do you know what I do as soon as I receive my salary? I set aside money for each bucket before spending it on anything else. It's like paying myself first. If you don't do this, you run the risk of spending too much on non-essential things and ending up without money for what really matters. For example, in my case, I use a digital account that allows me to create sub-accounts, or little boxes. So, every month, I automatically transfer 50% to the needs box, 20% to the wants box, and 30% to the future. It's simple, practical, and removes the temptation to spend more than I should. Oh, and an extra tip. Try to use your credit card only for planned expenses. When you start using credit without control, it's easy to get lost. Another trick I use is the one-day budget. It works like this. Instead of thinking about the entire month, I ask myself, how much can I spend today without compromising my plan? It keeps me more conscious and reduces that feeling of guilt when you spend a little extra one day, because you know it will pay off the next. It's a simple but powerful technique. And since we're talking about simplification, how about giving this video a like now? This helps more people discover easy ways to organize their money. And if you haven't signed up yet, take advantage. This way, you don't miss any new tips. Let me share something important. Simplifying your budget doesn't mean cutting out all the good things in life. On the contrary, when you organize your finances in a practical way, there is more space to enjoy what really matters. I'll give you a personal example. Before adopting this strategy, I was stressed because I didn't know if I would have enough money for a trip or even a special dinner. But now, since everything is planned, I know exactly how much I can spend without worrying. And do you want to know the most interesting thing? When you simplify, it becomes much easier to identify where your money is going. Once, I realized that I was spending a fortune on delivery food, and I didn't even like it that much. It was more for convenience. So I adjusted my budget and used the money for something that made me happier. A cooking class. The result? Savings and fun at the same time. Oh, and one last golden tip. Review your budget monthly. It doesn't have to be long, okay? In 15 minutes, you can see what worked, where you can adjust, and how you can improve. Remember, a simple budget is not static. It evolves with you. Speaking of evolution, take the opportunity to leave it here in the comments. What is the biggest challenge you face when trying to organize your finances? Let's exchange ideas. And if you know someone who is starting on this journey, send this video to them too. It could be the little push she needs. So, in short, keeping a simple budget isn't about following strict rules or complicated formulas. It's about finding a system that works for you. With the 3 big buckets, the habit of separating your money at the beginning, and techniques such as the one-day budget, you can organize your finances without a headache, and even have more peace of mind to enjoy life. And here's the challenge. Try applying at least one of these ideas this week. Then, come back here to tell me how it went. If you need help, I'm always here. Oh, and if you haven't done this yet, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who could benefit from these tips. Together, we can build a community that masters finances simply and efficiently. Thanks for watching this far, and see you in the next video.